morning, everybody, and welcome on this Sunday before the storm, before the Super Bowl. Welcome to Daifukuji's Nehan-e, or Nirvana Day service, which commemorates the Buddha's passing. My name is Charlene Hoju-ji.
And my name is Yukino Sasaki, and we are happy to be your MCs this morning.
The officiant for this service is Reverend Jiko Nakade. She is being assisted by Deacon Amy Jikai Nakade.
Our great compassionate teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, was 80 years old of age when he passed away on the 15th of February in the Sala Grove near the Budra River outside Kushinagara, India, near the border of Nepal. Behind me is a large picture of the Buddha in which he's surrounded by all forms of life, human, animals, birds, insects, and even worms, who mourn the end of the enlightened one's earthly life. For the 45 years, the Buddha had walked along the dusty roads of India, giving a teacher to people from all walks of life. Over 2,000 years after his passing, Buddhists around the world remember his Parinirvana and renewed their resolve to practice his teachings. Our Sangha is grateful to the Sugai family for donating this beautiful stroll in 1981 in memory of the late Sekai Sugai.
We will begin this service with the singing of the Sanbo Goasan, or Song of the Three Treasures, by the Baikako Plum Blossom Choir. When the minister stands at the doorway, please rise for the entering of the minister. we will have the offering of flowers by representatives of our various temple groups, while the Baikako sings the Nehan-e Goa-san. Representing the Daifukuji, Kyodan Board, and Dharma Study, Stephen Shodo Tanaka. Daifukuji, Fujinkai, and Shakyo Group. Susie Cyan Weaver. Cyan Weaver. Daifukuji Zazenpai, Will Kijun Kate. Dharma Keiki, Makana Nakamura. Daifukuji Project Donna and Baikako, Joyce Yuko Singh Arnold. Daifukuji Zen Taiko, Aya Fujisaki. If I have inadvertently missed any group, I would like to request that a member of that group please offer flowers at this time. Reverend Jiko will now offer the Nenko Hogo, or Dharma words.
On this 8th day of February, in the year 2026, our Daifukuji Sangha and friends pay homage to our great teacher Shakyamuni Buddha in commemoration of his Parinirvana in Asala Grove in Kushinagar, India, more than 2,500 years ago. Truly grateful are we for the Buddha's teachings, which free us from the tangled net of suffering and sorrow. By chanting the sutras and offering flowers, food, and candlelight, we reflect upon the life and teachings of the Enlightened One and renew our determination to live each day following the Noble Eightfold Path. Namu Kie Butsu, Namu Kie Po, Namu Kie So. We take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, we take refuge in the Sangha. Namu Shakyamuni Butsu, Namu Shakyamuni Butsu, Namu Shakyamuni Butsu.
Please rise for the singing of the Vandana Tisarana. The words are on page 17 in the Sutrakata book and also on your program.
Oh
join Sensei in offering the 3 vows of Sampai.
Next, let us chant the Hanya Shinyo or Heart Sutra, which can be found on your program. We will be chanting in both Japanese and English.
Hanya we right here now. In observing this Nirvana Day service, we have offered flowers, candlelight, and food. We dedicate the merits of this service to our great teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, on this occasion of his Parinirvana, to the compassionate Hawaii Kannon Bosatsu, Hosojo Yodaishi Dongen Zenji, Taisojo Saidaishi Keizan Zenji, Mahaprajapati, and the ever-guiding three treasures. Together we pray for the peace of our world, for the peace of our communities, and for the well-being of all FQG members and friends. May this good karma be extended to all relations, and may we realize the Buddha way together.
We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Jiko.
Good morning and aloha. Thank you very much for this day. Thank you, youthfulls, always making days for our guest speakers. I would tell her, don't have to make for me, you know. She's, oh no. Thank you so much. I'm going to begin my talk by showing a video. I have two videos to show you this morning. One is, I think it's about a 3-minute, 40-second video to start my talk. And then I will speak for a little while, and then I will end with a very short video. But Amy Kai and I have been following a group of Theravada monks as they make their journey on foot from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. And they are approaching Washington, D.C. It's cold, it's snowy. They continue their walk day after day, which is a walk for peace. And I'd like to share this with you. They should be arriving in Washington, D.C., I think sometime between Tuesday and Thursday of this week, and maybe depending on the weather. But truly, I am very moved and inspired by their walk for peace, and thought I'll begin with this video.
Carry a peace and unity flag on our shoulders. We walk for peace together, carrying hearts of wishing peace and happiness to all beings. We walk mindfully, share our merit with everyone. As we march forward, every step is a vow to practice, breathing mindfully. Every time we look around, we pray for the people standing on the roadsides. Deep inside, we realize that without the legacy of our ancestors, these roads of peace
And the churches that shelter us would not exist.
mindfully breathing in and out, we halt to accept fresh and beautiful flowers and gifts from supporters.
Sincerely praying for all, we bind peace bracelets to their wrists as a sign of our holy connection.
Even though it's biting cold, people young and old still wait and smile cheerfully.
We are deeply grateful to everyone as your kindness makes us feel warm and treated like family.
Carry a hope and harmony flag on our shoulder. We walk for peace together, carrying hearts of love and compassion. We walk mindfully through many towns and cities.
May peace and happiness flourish and cure our wounded souls. May all people around the world walk for peace spiritually and happily.
May all in Washington, D.C., our destination, always be happy and at peace.
May the people at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C.
Bring peace and unity to Americans and the world.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, are you ready for, did you want to play
The second one will be at the end of
At
the
the end,
talk.
okay.
It's a short one.
Great.
But today's service is called Nehan-e in Japanese. Nehan means nirvana. E means a gathering or service. We also say onehan. And for Japanese Buddhists, February 15th is the day designated to commemorate the Buddha's passing. It's different in other countries, but that's why the song said February 15th is Holy Nehan-e. For the Japanese Buddhists, it's February 15th. And so we also call this day Nirvana Day. But what is Nirvana? We are misled by how this word has entered the English language. For many, the word means a state of perfect happiness or an ideal or idyllic place. And this word is, as you know, used in a lot of advertising, right? It sells everything from perfume, shoes, it says even underwear. But anyway, nirvana is used in the English language. But nirvana is a Sanskrit word. Nibbana is the same word in the Pali language. And Sanskrit is an ancient language of India. Many scriptures were written in Sanskrit. And Pali is closely related to Sanskrit, and many of the early texts, Buddhist texts of the Theravadan Buddhists were written in Pali. This word nirvana is found in Hinduism, in Jainism, and of course in Buddhism, and its meaning differs according to the tradition. In the Buddhist context, nirvana refers to the realization of non-self by calming the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion, also known as the three poisons. The word nirvana literally means blowing out, as in blowing out the flame of a candle, blowing out the flames of greed, of grasping, of hatred, of aversion, and of ignorance or delusion. There's a Sutta Nipata that goes, as a flame blown out by the wind goes to rest and cannot be defiled, so the enlightened one, freed from selfishness, goes to rest and cannot be defined. Gone beyond all images, gone beyond the power of words. And so nirvana is extinguishing the flames, the three poisons, greed, hatred, and delusion. And not just extinguishing these flames, but transforming them. Transforming greed or grasping into generosity, into dana, into giving. Transforming hatred into understanding, love, and compassion. And transforming delusion or ignorance into wisdom, into awakening. Imagine today we could have a world in which these three poisons could be extinguished. A world, a country that's no longer dominated by greed, by hatred, by delusion. The Buddha during his lifetime experienced this nirvana, which is beyond words, and embodied it. Nirvana is beyond words and beyond concepts. When the Buddha died, his passing was called Parinirvana, meaning the final or complete nirvana. Parinirvana is a release upon death from what we call samsara, this ever-turning world which results in rebirth. So in early Buddhism, the ultimate goal was to be free from samsara and rebirth. For Mahayana Buddhists, as you know, for us, it is the vow of the Bodhisattva to come back time and time again, lifetime after lifetime, to help suffering beings so that all beings, without exception, can be free from suffering. So I'd like to just share with you a little bit about the Buddha's last days, and then I'd like to show you this short video about the monks. One of the reasons I share with you the videos is because, of course, Amy and I have been following the monks very closely and have been very, very deeply touched by their journey every day. We cry every day. We watch the videos and tears come to our eyes every day. And for me, it's because these monks embody the spirit and teachings of the Buddha. Their walk is silent. They don't stop and talk to people along the way. They simply walk in peace. They receive gifts, as you saw, water, tangerines. People hold up signs of peace. Children give them flowers. People give them flowers. But basically, they're just walking. Just as the monks who surrounded the Buddha and the Buddha himself walked over 2,500 years ago. The Buddha and his monks never rode in vehicles. They walked for miles every day, just like the monks are doing. One robe, one bowl, one meal a day, accepting whatever was put into their alms bowl, without complaint, without preference, simply accepting with gratitude. So seeing these monks walk, it transports me back into the time of the Buddha Shakyamuni. And I feel tremendous gratitude because they are showing us without words what the teachings of the Buddha are. They have embodied not only great strength, but great compassion, loving kindness, and peace. And their message, just by walking, is reaching all across the world, not just America. There are millions of people watching these monks and following them on social media. So the Buddha, too, walked. He never rode until his last day. He walked. Even when he was seriously stricken with illness, he walked. He was enlightened at the age of 35, and he walked for 45 years until the age of 80. Sleeping out in nature, under trees, on rocks. They didn't have temples until later. The monks received gifts from wealthy supporters, and then there were pavilions that were built. But for the most part, Theravadan monks, to this day, these monks do not sleep on soft beds. They only, whenever they're housed, even in churches or community places, they sleep on the floor. And I've seen them sleep in tents outside. They continue to live just as the Buddha lived, and just as the Buddha's monks and nuns lived 2,500 years ago. And so in the Buddha's last days, he was 80 years of age, traveling on foot with an entourage of monks. But during the last part of his life, just he and his attendant monk, Ananda, his cousin, would travel on alone. Two very old monks. He had become seriously ill along the way. He had a body just like ours. And his faithful companion Ananda was really shaken, thinking, oh no, the Buddha is going to die soon. But the Buddha said to Ananda, each of you must make himself his island, make himself and no one else his refuge. The Dharma and Dharma alone should be one's refuge. And so the Buddha and Ananda walked on. And then they stopped to receive a meal from a blacksmith whose name was Kunda. And Kunda prepared a meal as an offering, and the Buddha received some of it, and he told the other monks not to eat it. I think he realized that there was something wrong with the meal. It was spoiled. We don't know exactly what that meal was. It's called, translated as something like pig's soft food. So it could have been a mushroom, like a truffle that pigs ate. We don't really know, but the Buddha became seriously ill. But they traveled, but the Buddha said, do not blame Kunda, the blacksmith. Although he unintentionally gave the Buddha a meal that resulted in his illness, the Buddha did not want people to blame Kunda. He said, for Kunda will receive great merit Anyone who offers the final meal to the Buddha receives great merit and should be respected and honored. So the Buddha was very thoughtful. And they arrived in a grove of sal trees, the sala trees on the road in a place called Kushinagar, in Japanese Kushinara. And by now the Buddha was in a lot of pain. He lay down and the sal trees burst into flower out of season and dropped their petals upon him. And the Blessed One spoke to the Venerable Ananda, saying, Ananda, the twin sala trees are in full bloom, though it is not their season of flowering. And the blossoms rain upon the body of the Buddha and drop and scatter and are strewn about in worship of the Tathagata. And celestial coral flowers and heavenly sandalwood powder from the sky rain down upon the body of the Buddha and drop and scatter and are strewn about in worship of the Buddha. And the sound of heavenly voices and heavenly instruments makes music in the air out of reverence for the Tathagata. Yet it is not thus, Ananda, that the Buddha is respected, venerated, esteemed, and honored in the highest degree. But, Ananda, whatever bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, monk or nun, layman or laywoman, abides by the Dharma, lives uprightly in the Dharma, walks in the way of the Dharma, it is by such a one that the Tathagata, the Buddha, is respected, venerated, esteemed, worshipped, and honored in the highest degree. Therefore, Ananda, thus should you train yourselves. We shall abide by the Dharma, live uprightly in the Dharma, walk in the way of the Dharma. But Ananda was not yet enlightened. So he cried and cried and cried. So the Buddha had somebody go and call Ananda and said, so Ananda even said, oh Buddha, do not go to your final rest in this dreary little town with mud walls, this heathen jungle outpost, this backwater. He wanted the Buddha to die like in a grand way in a city. But the Buddha said, let the Dharma and the discipline I have taught be your teacher when I am gone. He always told his followers not to look at him, not to revere him, not to worship him, but to follow the Dharma, his teachings. Then he turned to the crowd of monks who had gathered and accompanied him and said, all individual things pass away. Seek your liberation with diligence. And so like the monks who are walking from Texas to Washington, D.C., walking and they're living examples of the Buddha and his community of monks and nuns. Like them, let us strengthen our practice so that we too would be able to embody the Dharma. And not through words, but rather just through our presence, walking, sitting, being together, working together. Let us embody the teachings of the Buddha. These monks are transforming people's lives. I saw a video wherever they go, there's media, there's reporters. Fortunately, they are protected. I'm so grateful to the communities that offer police escort, or I think you saw an ambulance following them. They receive so much love and protection from all communities all across the thousands of miles that they're walking. They've been taken in by Christian churches, they've been taken in by universities, by community centers along the way. They've been shown a lot of aloha and respect. And so on this day of Onehang or Nehan-e, let us take time to pause and reflect upon the Buddha Shakyamuni and upon all who have upheld his teachings and transmitted them through centuries and centuries of Buddhist practice. It's because of their walk and the way they've lived their lives that we have these teachings today. So in honor of the Buddha's Parinirvana, I'd like to share with you this very short video and close my Dharma talk, and thank you all for being here today.
There are moments when people don't cry from pain. They cry because they finally see love again. When peace appears, that came without a message to sell. No shouting voice, no warning bell, just quiet steps on open ground. A moving prayer without a sound. And people stopped along the way, from tired lives and heavy days. Something ancient stirred inside, and tears fell freely side by side. What for peace we never forget. These are tears of joy and unity, tears we will never forget. When peace appears without an agenda, and love asks nothing yet, no lines to draw, no sides to choose, no fear to protect. Just human hearts remembering what loving kindness meant. One for peace, one for men, love forget. Love forgets, love forget, love forget. The journey itself, 2,300 miles of trust, from Fort Worth roads to DC's dust. 120 days of grace, step by step a human pace. One meal a day, the road their home. Strangers helping, not alone. Anyone welcome, none turned away. Compassion walking, come what may. Love forgets, never forget. These are tears of joy and unity, tears we will never forget.
Thank you very much, Reverend Jico. Please rise for the singing of the Shomyo. The words are in your program or on page 19 in the Sutra Gatha book.
Namo Shakyamuni Butsu. Namo Shakyamuni Butsu. Namo Shakyamuni Butsu. Homage to the Buddha Shakyamuni.